Hey guys, it's Doug from Impercar, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to export a camera solve from Syntheyes and import it into Blender. Now before we start, it's important to quickly go over what this tutorial will not be about, and it won't cover how to track footage or do camera solves or anything like that in Syntheyes itself, or how to use Blender in great detail. If it's something you want to learn, then I highly recommend you seek out other tutorials that will teach you the basics, and I personally recommend both of these programs. So, here we have our footage, and as you can see it's been tracked and a camera solve has already been done. Now, you might recognize it from the combined arms video that I released a few weeks ago. So we know that this footage works, and you can tell that the red box holds nicely on screen. So to export from Syntheyes, go File, Export, Blender Python, click Save, give it a name, I'm going to overwrite, and you'll be presented with these export options. Take a moment to have a look over them, and one of these in particular is quite important and we'll cover why in a minute, so click OK. And we're done. So over to Blender. Now, to import the script, change Properties on the right hand side to Text Editor. I'm just going to drag it out so we have a bit more space to work with. Then down at the bottom you'll see Open. Click on that, navigate to where the script is saved, and open text block. Here it is. Down the bottom again you'll see this run script file, so click run script, and as you can see it successfully imported the camera solve, but this is clearly unusable. So what went wrong? The problem is that camera tracking points are much too large and you'll never really be able to use this for anything, so we have to change that. And how do we change it? We can modify the export settings in Syntheyes. So back to Syntheyes, go File, Export, Blender Python again, overwrite what already exists, and then here in this export setting, track size 1 is much too large, but I know from previous experience that 0.03 works great for this particular piece of footage. What works for you and what works for the footage and camera solves that you're working with may be different, so I encourage you to spend a moment to just experiment, try a different size. If it's still too big, lower it further, keep lowering it until eventually you come up with something that you're happy with and that you can work with. So I'm going to click OK, and that's done. Back to Blender again. Now, I'm going to hit A to select everything and delete it all, and over in the text editor, Control A to select all the text, delete that. And down the bottom, you'll see this little cross, unlink active text block, unlink that, and it gets rid of the old script and clears it out. Now, we need to re-import the script and use the new version, but I know that there's going to be an error here, and I'll show you why. So if we click on Open, and we go back to where the script is located, import that, then hit Run Script again, it didn't work, and you'll see there's an error. Object.name equals camera01. The problem is, there must be an active camera in the Blender scene for Blender to be able to import this script. So we'll add a camera by clicking Shift-A, Camera, and as you can see, Blender tried to import it, and it created this empty group called Syntheyes World, so I'm just going to delete that. But if you delete everything when you open a new Blender scene and you don't have a camera, it will fail. So it's always important to leave a camera in the scene. So now if I click Run Script again, hey, you'll see it worked. We have the box object and you can see the camera track points. Blender created a new group called Syntheyes World, and this time it's being populated. There are 3 mesh objects here, and box 1 and box 2 I know aren't anything, so I'm just going to delete those. But box 3, like I said, is that red box that we had from Syntheyes. There's a camera, and then there's a group for all the camera track points. Now, what you want to do is you want to have well, in all likelihood, you want to have the footage that you've already recorded playing in the background so that you can animate to it. There are 2 different ways that you can achieve this. One of them is by using the plane that's imported, and you can see in the background the grey object is the plane, so you could attach a material to it, import the footage that way and display it. However, I have tried that in the past, and this is personally speaking, I couldn't get it to work, so I don't particularly enjoy it. If you get it to work, that's great, but instead I do something that I consider much easier, much simpler. So I'm going to delete this plane, and I'm going to open up the properties, and then under background images I'll select it, I'll add an image, I'm going to change access all views to be just in camera, I'm going to select movie clip, I'm going to uncheck camera clip, I'm going to open, I'm going to browse to where the footage is. In this case, it's an image sequence that I'm dealing with. So I'm going to select that, I'm going to click Open Clip, and there it is. So if I zoom in and scrub through, you'll see that the footage plays. And everything works out nicely. So from here, you can do anything you want. You can add a new cube, shrink it down, move it around the scene, get it in position, or you can import other Blender models into the scene and animate those. But that concludes this tutorial, so thank you for watching. I hope that you found this very useful, and I hope that it aids you in your endeavours. And if you like what you saw, maybe consider checking out the Impercar main channel. It's where I release my film work and other projects that I'm working on, and I put these techniques into practice on there. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day.